thinking about the most exciting players in the game. So we all came up with our top 5. This list, by the way, exciting, not best. So I know people are going to come at us. You know all of our Twitter handles and you know our IG handles. But no, this is the most exciting to us. So this is very subjective. Now that I laid out the disclaimer, X, take it away.
It's subjective and it changes every single day, but I'll go number 5, Rafael Devers. He's like the guy that I cannot continue to, I can't take my eyes off this guy. He's always talking to himself at the plate. He knows what he's looking for, and when he gets his pitch, he crushes it. Next, Mookie Betts. This is a guy that I can't keep my eyes off of. Offensively, defensively, he's special to watch. He's back in MVP form. I look at number 3 being Aaron Judge. Like, nobody's going to sit and just watch anybody else other than Aaron Judge when he's at the plate, because you know a bomb is about to come off of his bat. He's got to be number 3 for me. Number 2 is the silencer now. I call him the silencer, Ronald Acuna Jr. Ronald Acuna Jr., he's too much fun to watch. He gets everybody hyped on his team as well as in the crowd. It's hard to keep your eyes off of him. And then number 1, Shohei Otani, just because he does both so well. I mean, it's hard to not have this guy at the top of the list, because if I'm going to go pay money to watch somebody play, ultimately it's going to be somebody that plays both sides of the ball. I'm going to get my money's worth, because he can hit a 450-foot bomb in the same game that he goes out there and strikes out 14, 15 dudes. So Shohei Otani at the top of the list for me.
How does everyone feel about this list?
We have one overlap, and I think it will not be a surprise.
Well, it just so happens that you're up next, so let's see who it is.
Oh, am I up next?
Yeah.
Do I get to go? All right. So I just want to make it clear that I had Jazz Chisholm on my list, and I only bumped him because I knew we were going to give him some love at the beginning of this segment. So that's my honorary one, and my other honorary one is J-Rod. All right, number 5 is Wander Franco. I'm really into it for the narrative. I like the idea that he's already the future of a team that we've seen make the postseason so many years in a row, but not be able to go over the top. This is Juan Soto, because we live in a 3 true outcomes era, and he's the only person who makes watching a walk interesting. And then we have Max Scherzer. No love for the old guys lately, I feel like. And I just, when you know you're watching a future Hall of Famer, that's exciting. You're seeing him rack up sort of new historic marks, all that. Byron Buxton, the guy that Carlos Correa himself called the best player in the world. I love this quote from Correa. Nobody has more talent, nobody hits the ball further, nobody plays better defense, nobody throws harder, and nobody runs faster. And then, of course, number 1, Shohei Otani. Shohei Otani is the only player that, as a person who can go to any baseball game, I want that, like, I would buy tickets for, and that I map out when he's going to be there. And I got to see him in New York and in Philly this past week. And everywhere he goes, the attendance numbers spike, because that's how everybody feels. They got to see the guy who's the modern Babe Ruth. Yeah, it's Shohei Otani.
We got the shaft last week. I actually made sure to get tickets to that Yankees game on Thursday. Then it was rained out, and then they bumped him to the matinee game, and I missed him. And
so this is what I mean. I was going to go Thursday, and then I'm like, I guess I'm going Friday.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I go if Shohei Otani is pitching.
Even if they're losing.
Hannah, I loved how you gave Wander Franco some love, because this guy doesn't get to be on the national stage a lot of times.
I love the confidence, and I love the swag. Keith, what you got?
My turn? My list?
Your turn.
Number 5. I don't even know the order. Oh, Jazz.
Surprise.
Well, for me, Jazz is like the closest thing to like a rock star, rap star. Like, he's like a rapper playing baseball. He's got the chains, the swag. We always talk about his clothes, but he also plays the game very well. Manny Machado is an MVP candidate. He's been doing it for years. I think people forget how long Manny's been Manny. Like, he's a guy that you want to see play. You know he's going to do something every game. Same for Bryce Harper, right? He's must-see TV. And when we talk about most exciting guys, he's electric. How many moments have we seen him just be himself, like this one? Boom! It's electric. The whole stadium's behind him. Mookie Betts, box office. He's crushing it this year. Hollywood, in LA. And, you know, when you're talking about best players in the game, Mookie is in that conversation every single year. And then, all rise, here comes the Judge. Aaron Judge is the best player in baseball right now, leading the league in home runs, leading the best team in baseball. Every little kid loves Aaron Judge. He's going to make, I don't know, $500 million from the Yankees. And he's my favorite player on the Yankees. Like, I've been watching his whole career, and I'm astonished by him still every week, every series. Some of the things that he does are just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a really solid list. And you're talking about Machado and that staying power and just being surprised at how long he's been in baseball.
Myself for sure.
All right, let's get to our list here. Number 5, of course, an overlap. Yeah, Max Scherzer. Not only is he one of the best in the game, but the dude is terrifying and so electric. I absolutely love watching him on the bump when he insisted on closing Game 5 there in the DS in San Francisco on 2 days rest. Recorded the first save of his career. The different color eyes, all that. Brett Phillips, first ever guest here on Off Base. He makes great plays, and he's just electric. On to Vlad Jr.
We all forgot about Vladdy.
Haven't we already said about Vladdy? How did we miss out on Vladdy? One of the best young hitters in the game. The shenanigans there in the dugout, and of course, Fernando Tatis Jr. Cannot wait for him to come off of the IL. I mean, you saw what he does at the plate, but some of his plays defensively, arguably one of the best athletes in the game. Speaking of tremendous athletes, most of us overlapped on this one because the two-way player in Shohei Otani, how could you not put him at the top of your list, Keith? The guy going
13 games.
both ways.
Got rocked in the Bronx.
But there are also few players that is fine in baseball that non-baseball fans go to see.
Yes.
And
I know
he's
that.
the one that can transcend sports, and he absolutely does it. And I want to talk about what he's doing that's never been done before in the sport. Of course, Babe Ruth did it, but he didn't do it both ways at the same time, and it was a different era.
It was a different era. It was a different era. People weren't so busy.
Yeah,
That's what I always say when we talk about Shohei Otani. He's so busy.
They literally made a rule for him to be
busy.
able to stay in the game so that people could watch him. And I know it. I've been at Yankee Stadium both times the past 2 years. There are Shohei Otani fans with like personalized shirts,
Wow.
signs.
Did you see?
There's a bunch of them every time.
There was this most recent time. This little girl walking around in, I don't think it was a dress. I think it was a T-shirt, but on her it was a dress, and it was just Otani's face the whole way
love
down.
wearing his
I love
face.
that.
That's so great.
That's the one reason why I have no respect for Keith's list, because Shohei Otani is the #1 person that everybody goes to see.
Nah,
I
he
mean,
dropped
yes, I
off.
love Aaron Judge. But if you ask most people who are they going to go pay to see, it's going to be Shohei Otani.
Not
also,
New York.
I didn't have Vladimir. Yeah, that's one spot. I also have one person in Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I didn't have him on my list because when I think most exciting player, I kind of think like someone that has every single tool. And that's kind of like, if he's not really playing defense, and he's not like making great throws from the outfield, whatever it may be, yes, he's exciting to watch at the plate, but I need somebody that's going to give me everything out there on the field.
Yeah, I feel like now that we know everybody's list, I think we should all get to pick one guy who should have been on somebody's list who wasn't.
Oh.
Because I just feel really disappointed that nobody said Julio Rodriguez. I feel like he's
I know.
so exciting.
Just small,
J-Rod got the
he's
shaft
just
there.
getting started. We know he's
We
a
only have
phenom.
5 slots there as we take a look here at some of the fan responses. Yes, Judge, I mean, the guy hits bombs every day, plays elite D. What else do you want, Keith? Are you happy?
Yeah.
Any
It's the
member
best.
of the Phillies bullpen. You never know what's going to happen when they come in the game. That's cold, Paul, but it's also very funny. Desmond, is there really any question?